I'm trying to listen to his advice.
You've talked to him more than I have, so. Here's the best thing to do.
Go ahead and call the regular board meeting to order. Let the record show that all the aldermen are present. Gloria so will lead us in the invocation. Mr. Burgess in the pledge. Please stand.
Everybody, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you today in humility and faith. We thank you for all you have given us and the many blessings in our lives. We ask you for your guidance and strength. Show us the way, fill us with courage and wisdom. Help us remember your love and grace and to be faithful in our service to you. Give us the patience and understanding to face life's challenges with grace. We ask these things in your name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the amended agenda? So moved, Mayor. By Mr. Wade, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We've got some proclamations this evening. Proclamation is Ocean Springs Lumber and Supply. Good morning. Will y'all come up, please? All up, everybody. Work with these two. Excuse me. A little history before we start here. Fred and I grew up downtown together, along with Vicky. Downtown, when we lived downtown, when it wasn't cool to live downtown. All two people lived outside somewhere else. Fred and I went to high school together, same age, all the way through. So especially, and well, yeah, we survived. Terrorizing the downtown neighborhood. It's so special to be able to do this for Moran family and Ocean Springs Lumber. Whereas Ocean Springs Lumber and Supply Company, established in 1924 by A.P. Moran, has been a steadfast pillar of the Ocean Springs community, providing essential building materials and services to contractors, home builders, and residents for a century. Whereas located on 1611 Governor Street, the company stocks over 13,000 items, catering to a diverse needs from kitchen renovations to constructing new boat decks, embodying the spirit of true one-stop shopping for home builders, home buyers, and DIYers. Whereas under the leadership of General Manager Charlie Glenn, since 1989, Ocean Springs Lumber has experienced significant growth, continually adapting to industry advancements and maintain a commitment to excellence in customer service. And whereas the company has not only contributed to the local economy through employment and services, but has also been an active community partner, sponsoring local charity groups and events, hereby strengthening community relationships. And whereas the 100th anniversary of Ocean Springs Lumber and Supply is a testament to the dedication and hard work of its leadership and employees, past and present, whose collective efforts have ensured the company's longevity and success. Whereas it is most appropriate to commend the longevity and success of Mississippi businesses, which not only simply provide just another shopping opportunity, but a community mainstay that serve as hubs of history and laboratories of success. Now, therefore, I, Kenny Holloway, Mayor of the City of Ocean Springs, do hereby congratulate Ocean Springs Lumber and Supply Company on its 100th anniversary and proclaim February 4th, 2025 as Ocean Springs Lumber Supply Day. Fred, this is a proclamation. We also have a key to the city. Only took 100 years.
and our employees. And we'd like to thank the community at large, not only Ocean Springs, but the entire Mississippi Gulf Coast. We service all 3 coast counties and 3 above. I would like to say a special thank you to all of our customers here tonight and those who have supported our business for all these 100 years. We are appreciated and are humbled by their support of our business. So thank you tonight for this proclamation.
I just iterate the same thing. Thank you for all the customers that we have. And thank you to the ownership that has been great. It's been a great 35 years I've been there, and we're just so appreciative of everything that y'all have done for us, and we look forward to the next 100 years.
It truly is. That's something we'd all love to do. Yep. Well, you ought to be working on it. Not in my time. Well, I mean in the name. Yeah. How many years is it? 64. 64.
Hey, Fred, never would have thought y'all were the same age. I thought you were much younger than you.
This partner's to come up, this next proclamation. This proclamation is from Arbor. Whereas the city of Ocean Springs recognizes the arts as an important part of Mississippi's cultural heritage and one of our greatest assets. Whereas Mississippi is making an impact on the world through the arts, Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music. Whereas the arts help communities in Ocean Springs celebrate their culture and heritage alongside local and statewide partnerships. Whereas Ocean Springs is leading the way to transform its city and instill civic pride through innovative initiatives such as the art installations on Cache Alley, the art mural on Fort Marapaw, the Gateway Sculpture Project, the I Love Ocean Springs structure at the train depot, and more. Ocean Springs continues to be an emerging and growing creative community through work being done by the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Arts Center, the Walter Anderson Museum of Art, Papos, Ocean Springs Main Street, and many others. Whereas the arts and the creative economy drives tourism, commerce supports Mississippi workers, make up 1.84% of the Mississippi GDP, and it's a $2.6 billion industry and represents 27,000 jobs and a total compensation of $1.5 billion. Mississippi Arts Commission serves to foster creativity and quality of life in Mississippi communities through statewide investment in the arts. And whereas the week of February 3rd through the 7th, 2025, artists, arts organizations, and communities throughout the Mississippi, in partnership with the Mississippi Arts Commission, will celebrate the arts and impact on the state of Mississippi through the events across the state. And whereas the city of Ocean Springs recognizes these statewide efforts and will stand with them in celebration. Now, therefore, I, Kenny Holloway, Mayor of the city of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim the week of February 3rd through the 7th, 2025 as Arts Week.
I guess the only thing I would say is that I think that art has always chosen me, and I kind of feel like this job has chosen me, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful to serve the public through the arts, and having it recognized is super important. I think there's several other people and organizations who could be standing right here with me that have helped push the arts in Ocean Springs. It's super important to our community, and anything I can do to collaborate or work with anyone on a project or anything, any brainstorming ideas, I'm always happy to talk to you and be a part of that project. So thank you guys, and it's very important. It's you know, when you give your life to the arts and it's brought back to you in this way, it's a very important thing. So I'm proud to be a part of this community. So.
She's done a fantastic job over there, creating programs, and the building has really come to life, a lot of activity. And lot of renovations going on that campus. So we're happy. We're happy with the Mary City, proud of what's going on over there. This next proclamation, Raven, you got to do 3. Arbor Day. Whereas 1872, Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture a special day to set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was the first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, whereas trees can reduce erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, reduce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. Whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore, I, Kenny Holloway, Mayor of the City of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim February 14, 2025 as Arbor Day in the City of Ocean Springs, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support the efforts to protect trees and woodlands. Okay, next item on the agenda, we've got an update report from the Republican Executive Committee. It's Ms. John Rivera is here, and he wants to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening to the board and people attending here. I'm John Rivera, or as my alias, according to the Sun Herald and WLOX, I am Johan Rivers. That's my very call signs in my Air Force career. That takes the cake. As we all know, sometimes the mainstream media gets the facts wrong. As chairman of the Ocean Springs Republican Executive Committee, you need to know we're 3 members based upon the population of the city. The committee has been established in 1980 under state law, and we were recognized by the State Republican Executive Committee in the 1980s. The original founders included 6 people. Jeannie Lucky and Bob Montgomery were the first ones. Our previous chairman, Mr. Bob Montgomery, passed away the 2nd week of December. I was elected the last week of December to take this position. As I stated, the state law directs the executive committee to be established and to have sole authority for the running of primary and primary runoffs in the municipal area. The processes involved are executed at our direction. State law also directs all municipal committees, executive committees, to perform 3 tasks for qualification tests of the candidates. They have to be registered voters. The law calls that qualified electors. They have to live in the area for which they're seeking election, in the ward or the city for at least the past 2 years. And we are required under state law to perform a security check and/or background check. This is to make sure that none of the candidates are convicted of one of the 3 disqualifying felonies that are listed in the state constitution or the state election law. For several decades, this committee has utilized the city clerk's office to validate the fact that candidates aren't convicted of a listed felony. To run a background check for this purpose, the U.S. Police Department was used. That's not against the law. This process run by the police department requires they follow the federally mandated process of doing a privacy waiver. because they're looking in NCIC. And having used that process in my Air Force career, unless it's investigating for investigative purposes, you gotta have a privacy statement. This is a fine procedure for city employment, for boards, for volunteer positions, for city positions. Because of the concerns of some individuals who are candidates, it is the right of the citizen to question any process that affects their lives. My committee, since we own the process, can change the way things are done. In talking 4 times with the Secretary of State's office, to the Assistant Secretary of State for Elections, and their Chief Legal Counsel, we decided that we're going to do a security check in a different fashion using open source methodologies. Court records, the SIM system for election, voter registration, etc. Department, as I said, police department checks is perfectly legal. We use another system now, and it's still in process. Please be aware, 3/4 of all the cities and counties in the state of Mississippi use a police check. But a requirement for waiving the rights in a law enforcement run background check for our purposes is not required and is not called for under the promulgation of the law. Our committee opted to withdraw from that process, and as I said, we found a better way to do it, using the open sources from the county and city databases. And as of last evening, we have completed most of those checks. Most of the candidates have been validated in their residency, their voter registrations, and having not committed one of the 23 felonies. The citizens of Ocean Springs will be happy to know that none of the elected officials in our city are guilty of committing a felony since they were last elected. Mr. Mayor, I have been as short as I am tall, and I'm done. Thank you.
Hold on, John. John, hold on a second. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Rivera while he's up there? Okay, thank you.
Covered everything. Thank you, John.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I can add, just double down on what he said. I've had those same conversations subsequently with the Secretary of State's office, who confirmed everything he's confirmed here tonight. Also, I know this was reported widely against the city clerk's office. I'd like a motion from the Alderman. I've got a letter from Mr. Eric Brian Rosenberg. This is dated December 10th, 2024. This is directed at Ms. Patty Gaston here. I believe many of the Aldermen got this same letter, but this one's specific to Patty. It's a notice to preserve evidence related to pending litigation, in which he says, please preserve all evidence related to pending litigation in which you are named as a defendant in your official and personal capacities, meaning he intends to sue Ms. Patty in her official capacity being the city and her personal capacity being herself. Again, this was dated December 10th, 2024. The letter goes on. I've redacted his personal information. So just in the interest of public transparency, I'd ask a motion from the Board of Aldermen to accept this into today's minutes.
So moved, Will.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Papania, second by Mr. Impey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public hearing. To approve the preliminary plat for a major commercial subdivision, plat 1419 Bienville Boulevard, PID number 690127491.050. The property is zoned CH, regional commercial. Planning Commission recommends approval. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
By Mr. Alderman.
Second.
Second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Wade.
Yeah, as you said, this is a major subdivision. Just to get you familiar with it, this is the site of the former motel and mobile home park that's east of the new Singing River education building. What we have here is shown on that plan is a 4-lot commercial subdivision with a central private street down the middle of it that will connect Bienville Boulevard up to Groveland. At least in the immediate time, the 2 lots closest to Bienville are intended for a Chipotle restaurant and a Chick-fil-A. Those are the ones that I think you're familiar with. That concludes everything I had to say about this. So I'd be glad to answer your questions. And I believe also there are representatives from the developer and the applicant here that may be able to answer additional questions. Thank you.
Anyone from the board have a question for you?
I just have one. That area that's called common area that goes from Groveland towards Bienville that abuts the back of Lot 4. Is that a driveway, or is that going to be like a green space?
I believe that's intended to be a green space and the retention area.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay. Anybody else?
Wade, is there any planned development as of now for lots 1 and 2?
I'm not aware of any at the present time, but
Just curious.
yeah, the developer may can answer that better. But I'm not. We had no discussions about it.
Does the developer here want to answer this question?
We don't have any plans for lots 1 and 2. Those will probably be listed for sale down the road.
Okay, is there anyone from the public who would like to speak for or against this public hearing? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wade,
Second.
by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve preliminary plat for major commercial subdivision, plat 3419 Bienville Boulevard, PID 690127491.050.
Motion by Mr. Blackman.
Second.
Second by Mr. Papania. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes only regarding issues listed on this agenda. Please identify yourself and the agenda item before speaking.
William Batterton, Ward 1, Chicopee Trace. Okay. Let's talk about Ocean Springs Road to golf cart ban. Last 2 years, the Ward 1 Alderman stated publicly, media, in person, on the phone, there will not be golf carts on Ocean Springs Road. Okay. Thank y'all for reducing the speed limit from Raleigh to Dena. Got to cut so much, shed so much speed, okay? Ocean Springs Road's safe at 25 miles an hour for golf carts. The engineer who was here the last time walked us all through that, how they got to islands, buffer, walkway, 25 mile an hour, safe for pedestrians, and all this, right? Ocean Springs Road is as safe as Government Street between the YMCA, the bus barn, YMCA, Bechtel, 25, with the sidewalk right beside the cars, no buffer, couple spots, maybe 2 feet. 30 mile an hour from the bus barn, from Bechtel to the bus barn, with that sidewalk right here. Is that safe? Is that safe for pedestrians? With golf carts riding up down it? Look at you guys. You're gonna have to vote on this soon, okay? If you do, speed limit, but we're not enforcing the speed. We're not, Chief, I love you to death. I know you got staffing issues. No enforcement's being done throughout the city. Sporadic. Okay? It's sporadic. That courtroom down there at the police station, 4 o'clock on Wednesday, ought to be standing room only, every Wednesday. It's not. Okay? Enforcement. You enforce Ocean Springs Road, you enforce the complete city. That speed will shed. The message, the police have to send a hard message to the citizens. Slow it down with power and reckless. They're the only ones that can do it. You can talk all day. If you approve this, I know Ward 1 Alderman's gonna roger up to it. If y'all approve this, you're basically excluding a portion of citizens, saying, we have an ordinance here, but this group of citizens cannot reap that benefit because that's safe. Government street's safe. You ride a golf cart on the sidewalk. Right here with cars whizzing by. That's pretty much like a class system where you can pick and choose which ones you want to do. Gentlemen, it's all on you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board concerning an agenda item? Okay, moving on to old business. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. My name is Paul Moore. I'm resident of Taylor Place, 9342 Taylor Place. It's a new neighborhood that was just built up Ocean Springs Road. I'm one of the ones that you incorporated, and I'm very happy about it. So we aren't all upset about it. Just want you to know that. Wanted to be a part of Ocean Springs for 28 years since I've lived here. Now I finally am. So thank you. I am for a 25-mile speed limit to Deanna Road. That's about a mile up from the roundabout. And in that area, if you start going from the hospital outwards towards Dina, you'll go from King Henry, you'll go past the 2 Monticello Boulevard, or Monticello Woods, sorry, entrances. You'll pass the Coolioka 1, the Coolioka 2 neighborhood. You're going to pass the Arbor neighborhood, the Taylor Place neighborhood where I'm at, where Rod and Reel comes up to that. Toscano and the Vineyard, they can actually take a little back road over by Taylor Place to Rod and Reel and come out to 90. So you have, 7 neighborhoods right there. Deanna is getting busier. I know there's plans to improve Dina. I keep saying Deanna, it's Dina. But now they're building more buildings in. Parkwood, I think Alderman every year there. Parkwood or
Town.
Parktown, all right. Parktown neighborhood, they're using Dina to come out to Ocean Springs Road also. It's really busy there. And all those folks, even CC Camp comes in about a few hundred feet just north of Dina. That's a real busy area, and all of our kids are out there catching the bus on Ocean Springs Road. So I think 25 is very safe there, and I would like to see it lowered to 25. And if we can improve golf carts, I have one. I'd love to be on that road with a golf cart. But the biggest thing I think really is safety at 25 mile an hour.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, Board. My name is Rod Fields, and I live at Taylor Place with Paul Moore there. And so I'm a proud owner of a brand new home there at Taylor Place. I'm also the proud owner of a brand new golf cart. And I've got a wife that loves to spend money. And so this past Saturday, we took a little tryst and we were down Ocean Springs. It took me about an hour to drop $100. So we came back, it was a wonderful day. So I'm not the only golf cart in that area. There's in our subdivision, there's probably 7 or 8. So I think as far as spending money downtown Ocean Springs, businessmen, we'd love to be able to drop a few dollars downtown Ocean Springs on our golf carts. So I'm definitely for making the 25 mile an hour speed limit permanent so we can get out there and go to town. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, now moving on to old business. Have an ordinance adoption and amendment to the Code of Ordinances to revise Chapter 14, Article 1, Section 14-10 regarding the speed limit on Ocean Springs Road from its intersection with US Highway 90 north to its intersection with Dina Road. Ms. Burgess?
Yes, so this actually takes it a little step further. So we've discussed the 25 mile per hour based on the recommendations of MDOT and the engineers. Because the roundabout is 15 miles per hour, MDOT recommends that the speed limit either goes up or down in 10 mile per hour increments. So what this is doing, because I've had significant residents reach out all the way up to Utopia, and I believe there's some here in the audience tonight too, about the traffic and the speeds going all the way up to 57. So what the 25 mile per hour change, so you've got the roundabout at 15, 25 miles per hour from King Henry to Dina, will then have a chain reaction to where it will be 35 miles per hour from Dina to Riley, and then from Riley to 57 will be 45. And in the interest of public safety, that's what this ordinance is going to have a chain reaction towards. It's going to address the speeding. It's not going to solve the speeding. To Mr. Betterton's point, and in conjunction with OSPD, I know they're going to do their best to maintain a consistent presence upon that road and not just in that section. I believe we did have a very bad accident near Oak Bayou where speeds were in excess of 70. And I think Mr. Anderson can attest to that. So that's what this is about, is taking the recommendations of the MDOT and engineer for that section of road and then having that ripple effect go all the way to 57. Because that's what the residents are telling me that they want.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt?
I'd just like to comment on that, Jennifer. I really believe if we are going to move forward with this reduction in the speed limit, coming south on Ocean Springs Road, I feel like we need 2 of those flashing speed limit signs that say slow down, because driving south, it is hard to get to 25 miles an hour, even if you just let off the gas. I mean, it is hard to get down that low. So that's just I think we need to find the money in the budget to put 2 of those flashing speed limit signs saying slow down or you're going too fast. Catch their attention coming south.
And I appreciate you saying that too, because I think what this is going to do is also, in some of the discussions that I've had with the residents, open up, it's the first step towards doing those types of techniques, as well as implementing potential lighting, potential 3 or 4 way stops, things of that nature. But this is the first step, so thank you for pointing that out. I'm going to make a motion to lower the speed limit on the stretch. Wait, what?
I would say adopt the ordinance just because
Adopt
it's
the
obviously
ordinance.
got some
Make the motion to adopt the ordinance.
Okay. By Ms. Burgess.
Second.
Second by Mr. Alderman. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Next item in old business is an ordinance adoption to amend the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Article V, Section 14 to Section 14 to 127 to prohibit golf carts from operating on Ocean Springs Road. Ms. Burgess?
So what you have before you gentlemen is, I was approached by residents who were adamantly opposed to golf carts on that section of road. I had residents who were very much in favor of golf carts on that road. I've invited those people, both of those sides, to come to this meeting tonight because truly I see both arguments. I do. I see the safety aspect of it. For the first time ever, we're having to consider pedestrians on that road. As you said, trying to slow down to 25 is a challenge. I mean, myself personally, sometimes I feel like I'm better off just getting out and walking. Giving our police officers an opportunity to establish a presence on that road. That's the safety issue. On the flip side of the coin, we have an ordinance that states 30 miles an hour or below allows for golf carts. So where do we meet in the middle? I've been told many times I can't please everybody, and my response to that has always been, well, that doesn't mean I shouldn't try. And so what you have before you, gentlemen, is a suggestion of what may be possibly a middle road, a meeting in the middle looks like. You're addressing the safety aspects by allowing 6 months to transpire for people to get used to the speed limit, to have the police establish a consistent presence. But on the other side of the coin, you're not setting it indefinitely. It does state 6 months, we'll do a study. It's been suggested to me, which I don't necessarily disagree with, that if we do put golf carts on that road, it's going to deter people from going down that section of road, which is what the residents want to. So again, I see both sides, and what this looks like is a middle of the road. I'm on the fence, and so I'm opening up this to discussion. And at the end of the day, I don't even have to make a motion on this. It's just something that what it might look like.
I'll follow up with you on this. There's golf carts going down that road when it was 35 miles an hour. We didn't catch them and we might not have seen them, but I've heard all about them coming down.
I've seen them.
And with the movement to reduce the speed to 25 miles an hour, I think we need to just be present. We need to be there. We need to enforce the 25 miles an hour if that's what it's going to be, and allow the golf carts on the street. I'm not going to support I think we need to get the flashing speed limit signs to alert people coming south. You're going 15 out of the roundabout heading north, you're going to be 25. So I think our ordinance that's in place holds in my vote.
I agree with Mr. Cox. I mean, you can't take a privilege away from people that live on the other side of town on a speed limit. When the ordinance came out, it was 30 miles or less, and now that street qualifies, and I don't see how we can take that away from them, so I can't support it.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this, Jennifer. I drive that road every day, on the weekends, multiple times a day. And the last thing I wanted to see is golf carts on there. I got a feeling I'm going to be taking Dina Road a lot more than I have in the past. But that being said, I don't, to Mr. Betterson's point, if the study comes back and shows that they shouldn't be, well, then should they not be on Government Street and some of these other areas where the sidewalks are closer? I've gone back and forth on this, and I just don't, I get the getting used to the speed limit thing, but I don't see taking it away. It'll just result in, I know personally, finding a different route.
Well, I can assure you a golf cart is going to slow traffic down.
Well, and to Mr. Cox's point, I've seen them out there numerous times already, and not that we need to change the law to accommodate people breaking it, but I mean it's inside the ordinance now at 25 miles an hour, and I don't see the purpose in delaying it.
Yeah, I think it should be noted that also, if that's allowed, the golf carts are going to have to cut through the hospital or cut through Fort Bayou Estates to get to the other side of the highway, because there's no other way, and you cannot put a golf cart on Highway 90. And you cannot put a golf cart in the park, and you cannot put a golf cart on that multi-use pathway that's across the street, across Highway 90. So for those of you who may be riding golf carts down there, please be aware of that.
Mark the path accordingly. And I appreciate the feedback. Again, this was to show what that compromise might look like. And so in the spirit of transparency, that was what I was presenting to you. Because to Mike's point, I've been on the fence as well, trying to appease those that are genuinely concerned about the safety aspect of it, and balancing that with those that want to enjoy their golf carts, and we have an ordinance that allows them to do that. So thank you for the conversation. I don't have to make a motion on this. I just wanted it to.
Sorry, just because it's an agenda item, I think for minutes purposes, we should make some sort of motion, whether it be to table it, that's fine, or to deny it. I mean, that doesn't mean it can't come up again if minds change, but I think there should be at least a motion to table.
Would it die without a motion in a second?
I'll make a motion to table it.
Okay. This is motion by Mr. Impey, second by Mr. Pena. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Mayor,
carries.
can we follow that up? Would it be okay if I go ahead and make a motion to make sure we move forward with the lit up flashing speed limit sign? I'd like to make that motion for us to do that.
Are we talking about like the one we got on government?
Yeah, that flashes too fast, yeah.
Hey, Bobby, do you have a specific location just to say it?
I think we're
No, I
gonna,
think he's talking about something
we'll have to
No.
determine the location.
Okay.
Coming south on Ocean Springs Road, north of Vina. Just slow traffic down coming from.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd just like to make that motion that we approve 2 of those signs to be,
Jennifer, I've got the
I think coming south is the main.
I've got the information.
It's a different, he's talking about something different.
No, it's not.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Flashing speed limit signs that says too fast. You're
Oh.
walking too fast.
No, I thought you were
I
talking
thought you were
about
talking
flashing
about-
Well,
slow
some of them
down.
do have it.
But, and it'll have slowdowns.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to make a motion, we add that.
How about if we make a motion to have the discussion about the different options?
That's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure we have that in.
Agreed.
Okay, what's the
Wait,
motion?
so he made a motion.
Hold on.
Discuss.
Hold on.
Light up caution signs, speed limit, or too fast caution signs. We can look at our options to see what they will be, but something to aware the drivers coming south on Ocean Springs Road that they're going too fast.
So motion to study.
Not study, I think, allow us to
Allow to do
see what
it.
our options are on 2 signs.
Electronic sign.
Electronic.
Basically, you want a reduced speed ahead sign, and then you want a sign that shows your speed, and if you're going too fast, it's flashing at you. Like we've got down here.
Yeah, similar to the ones we've got. They're
One on
just too
Homestead will
fast.
flash, and it'll say you're speeding or you need to slow down.
Slow down, that's, I don't know if it's, just an electronic speed limit sign with.
They're approximately $3,500. I bought 2 of them.
To Will's point, Will, do we need to establish
I think that's
a
what we need, and we need to have
location?
locations
Okay, we
established.
got a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. Okay, now any discussion?
The motion is to approve 2 of those signs.
2 signs, right.
Do we need to establish where?
No, that can be determined.
Can we add out of any cash, Bobby, or just take it out of street department?
Take it out of Alderman
Either-
at large
either-
funds.
Either one came from.
Either, let's
Take it
just
out of
say
all of them
any
large
cash.
funds.
Let's say any cash.
It'll be broke.
All right, we got a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next item under old business is to approve a final plat for Arbor Grove Subdivision, a 30-unit townhome development. Public Planning Commission recommended approval. Will?
Yeah, they've, obviously, we've had this discussion at multiple meetings. They've since gotten the rider on the bond, and it's satisfactory under the UDC, and I think they're here if the board has any other questions. Obviously, tonight will be approval of the final plat, is that it? Right. So,
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Just to reiterate, everything, all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed. That was the only thing we had held up last time.
correct.
Was the bond, the rider
3-year bond.
for 3 years.
Yep.
And everything else was in place. So
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve final plat for Arbor Grove subdivision.
Motion by Mr. Blackson.
Second.
Second by Ms. Doffman. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is adopt the Ocean Springs School District School Board member, appoint Ocean Springs School District School Board member to a 5-year term beginning March 1st, 2025. We have a motion to appoint a member.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Greg Denyer,
Okay.
school board.
We've got a motion by Mr. Wade. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Impey.
Can I make a statement?
Yes.
I'd just like to say we had 9 applicants, which is, I think, the most we've ever had. 9 very well qualified applicants. And I just wanted to thank everybody that applied and put their name in. Mr. Denier's done a fantastic job, and, sounds like we're going to put you back on. We appreciate that. But it was a tough decision. There was a lot of great applicants. There was a lot of great people that stepped up with a lot of great qualifications. But I just wanted to put that out there.
I do not recall 9 applicants for any position, school board or city or anything. It was.
Especially in this day and age.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Moving on to new business. Adopt a resolution declaring support for the preservation of the federal tax exemption on municipal bonds. What this is there's some discussion at the federal level that the tax exemption on municipal bonds may go away and those bonds would be taxable to the city. That would be not good for the city if we're going to do any bonds in the future and have to start paying taxes on them. This is proposed by MML, so this resolution is going to every municipality, village, town in the state of Mississippi, or hopefully support of it. So that's what it's about. Does anybody make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion that we adopt a resolution declaring support of the preservation of the federal tax exemption of municipal bonds.
Motion by Mr. Papania.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blackman. Any discussion? Need a roll call, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Consent agenda. Does anyone have anything to pull from the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Impey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Does anyone have anything to pull from the docket claims? Is there a motion to approve the docket claims?
So the motion to approve the docket of claims, all expenditures are appropriate and authorized by law, and spread the summary upon the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Blackman.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions on the monthly budget report? Is there a motion to accept the monthly budget report? Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anybody have any questions about sewer adjustments?
No, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we authorize the adjustments of the water and sewer accounts due to the findings that the customer did not receive the benefits of the utility and the excess usage was due to unforeseen circumstance.
Motion by Mr. Alderman. Second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. City Clerk, Uniform Program for Public Works, authorization to execute a 60-month contract with Centos and budget the amendment. Patty, you want to talk about this?
Well, yeah. So Alan can tell you what we decided to go with. He wanted them back in uniforms, but we didn't want them bringing them in to get them washed and all. So this will provide 6 uniforms and a jacket, and they will wash them themselves. Jennifer had worked in this field, so she was able to suggest that, which saved us about $18,000 a year to do it that way. And Alan preferred it that way. And also, when I was doing the budget amendment, I didn't realize, but actually there was some uniform money, and so I'll just move that money around so it won't even affect any cash. I just somehow missed that when I typed it up. We were doing it last Thursday. I think they're real excited about it. I'm excited for them.
That'll be nice to have everybody dressed in uniform.
So does that mean everybody's gonna look the same
Yes.
across the board and it's
Well-
gonna be enforced?
Ricky, yeah, so if whatever the guys
Why didn't it
wear-
work last time? I'm trying to, what was the, we
Alan would have to tell
were
you.
doing that before. Why did we
Uniforms
switch?
Before, but it was getting where you never got back what you turned in. Every week they was running out of pants, they was running out of shirts, so we got away from that and we bought them uniforms. And the only ones now that don't have uniforms is the new hires, just hadn't got on probation yet. So by doing this, everybody will have the same uniform from the get-go.
So how do we make sure those uniforms, if somebody leaves the
Yes.
city, how do we make sure we get the uniforms back? They have to have the
The
uniforms
price
turned
that
in to
we
get their
have,
last check?
well, we do, but the price we have this time, we won't be responsible. And if they tear up, they'll replace them. If they gain weight, they'll replace
So
them. All that's built into it this
So the
time.
company is not gonna charge me anything
Correct.
that's missing?
Yes. And they're going to either be, like, the workers will be either blue pants and a gray top. If that's what it is, the supervisors will be a gray, the opposite, whatever I just said. But they'll all be gray and
Supervisors
blue.
different?
Opposite.
Why did we go for a 60-month contract?
That's just how they sent it.
Is it cheaper to go to that amount of time, or
It's
is that
state
all they
contract.
offer?
That's the state contract prices. That's what NDOT gets.
60 months.
Any other questions? Your motion?
I'll make the motion. Approve it.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Ms. Papania. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is general public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself clearly at the podium before speaking.
Good evening, Shannon Grace Pfeiffer, 716 Hidden Oaks. I'm glad we were talking about speed limits and public safety tonight, because for the better part of 8 years, I've had a lot of concerns about the government sidewalk from the stadium heading east, but in particular between Ocean Springs Road and Hanley Road. I've spoken to Mr. Papania, Mr. Cox, Ms. Martin over the years. I don't own a golf cart, so this is just about public safety. It is very dangerous. The sidewalk, when it was constructed, was poorly and improperly built. The handicap ramps are not to code. There are parts of the sidewalk that you can't, there's no delineation between the sidewalk and the street. In a split second, somebody can drive off the sidewalk, and I've seen it. The section where we have the metal barricade, I'm a tall person, I could not hurdle that. It's very dangerous, and I just would like to put that out there for future thought, because you are talking about speed limits and public safety. And if people do start using golf carts on Ocean Springs Road now, they may be tempted to try to cross the highway onto OS Road and come down, and that's something you may want to consider as well in the interest of public safety. Thank you.
My name is Will Thompson. I live at 261 Holcomb, and I am here tonight to ask one of y'all to make a motion to terminate Robert Wilkinson and his firm from the city's legal representatives. So Wilkinson, and why, if you're asking, it's because of the Securex scandal that we keep hearing about in the news. So Wilkinson and Police Chief Mark Dunstan introduced the Securex program to the Board of Aldermen without disclosing that Wilkinson represented Securex or that Dunstan would later join the company. He simultaneously worked for both Securex and the city, admitting in emails that he represented Securex while serving as city attorney. Despite not profiting directly, securing the Ocean Springs contract was key to Wilkinson's future plans, as it served as a model for other cities. He promoted Securex after the deal, using Ocean Springs as a selling point. He also continued to represent both parties in city meetings, and his son was later employed by Securex. Mississippi law prohibits city officials from benefiting financially from contracts they are involved in or creating conflicts of interest. Wilkinson's dual role was an ethical violation, even if he didn't profit. When the media reported this, Wilkinson tried to suppress the information. His actions now put Ocean Springs at legal risk, and his continued role as city attorney compromises the city's integrity. Immediate action is needed to terminate Wilson's services, and I'm asking one of you to please make a motion to terminate Robert Wilkinson and his firm as the city's legal representatives and find someone else for his position. Thank you.
Joe Jewell, Ward 3, Ocean Springs. I want to also echo this gentleman's comments about terminating the contract and firing our current city attorney and his firm. I made these comments at last Board of Aldermen meeting, and I'm hoping that y'all will take these comments from the public seriously. The current conduct, the misconduct of our attorney, Mr. Wilkinson, and his firms, but the city, and liability and legal liability. They can't make any open-ended or proper judgment to y'all now that they've engaged in the SecureX scandal. We can't be assured that anything they're doing now is not a conflict. They didn't disclose that to y'all. We have one alderman and the mayor admitted that they knew nothing about it. We have no idea what they may have done or may not have done and not disclosed to y'all. I recommend that someone take motion tonight and terminate this contract immediately. Thank you.
Good evening. David Jurich, 18 Oak Lawn, been here 69 years. Same thing, this man needs to go. In addition, if you think 25 miles an hour on Ocean Springs Road will work, you gotta be nuts. How about 70? You don't enforce speed anywhere. All right, thank you. Nobody get ticketed now.
Good evening, James Lewis, 805 Cambridge Drive. I also support the recommendation that has already been made before stated on the lawyer, because one of the key things is you have a conflict of interest. And this previous board was duped. And one person stood up and said that you were on the board. It's on the board right now. One of the key things is that you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If there's a conflict of interest, it's a conflict of interest. And Ocean Spring can be held liable, the citizens, because we weren't going to have to go back in and pay the bill if a lawsuit comes in. That's just plain and simple. Moving on. You all were talking about speed. I'm so happy that you were today, because I have been up here several times. You went back in, you put the signs up on the MLK, Master Missionary Baptist Church, and I've had John Brown is projected every Sunday. Someone almost getting run over, and then people cuss you out. Because I have been cussed out. Because I bring to their attention, speed limit is 20. We need to do something about that before somebody get killed. I was almost killed, come that close, but God stepped in and intervened, and I was not. We need to get a handle on that before someone gets killed, and then you got a lawsuit because it was brought up in this board meetings. They will have that problem down there, but we're taking a blind eye to it. We just can't do that. Thanks for very kind of nice.
I'm not gonna talk about lawyers, William Batterton, Ward 1. We're in agreement that the ordinances that you go to planning department, drop down, mini code ordinance, drop down. That's what the public is to use to govern, to work with the city, and that's what the city is supposed to use to govern and work with the citizens, correct? Okay. 5:02 this afternoon, I downloaded chapter 20, refuge. 3 years ago, I was here right after Mayor got elected. I went to the bill to get some sections of it corrected. Bobby was here. I was told, we're gonna review it, we're gonna update it, we're gonna move on. What happened? Nothing. A year ago, I asked Ward 1 Alderman to review it because it's still out of whack. She put the onus on Bobby. I got the email right here, it says that, okay? The last 4 or 5 months, I've worked with Bobby, okay, on this. I sent him a point paper. He said, oh my, we got a problem here. He got with the stakeholders, got with the lawyer, they were a whole shooting match. Y'all approved it about 2 months ago. Where is it? Not there, okay? I'm gonna read something to you. Who's the other guys sit up here? Hang on, Reverend. Okay. This section down here, section 23, minimum fees. All persons and residents. They'll be charged required fee to pay a minimum combined fee of $11.60 per calendar month beginning the first day of October 2001. Who do I see in the morning? Laura, did you start my refund process? Patty? Water department? The lady out in the hall? Somebody let me know who I'm supposed to contact, because I want to start the refund process, because your ordinance is still out there for the public to use. And you're taking $23-something a month out of my check. But the previous mayor dropped the ball. He did do the garbage contract 1 year, so they jacked it up about double for a year. That's going to come into play too. It's going to be a month by month accounting and taxes come into play. That's all I got to say on that.
I got one more.
How much time did Davey use the first time?
Not enough. Davy Jurich, 18 Oak Lawn. Let's see what it is. Slaughtering company. Look like they, your estimate, kind of they overbilled or paying too much. Why don't we cut them loose? That's your recommendation, your company. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ford, I'm not even sure I can talk about this now. I mean, it's okay to talk about the golf carts.
Yes.
Look, I'm against them. I don't want to see them. No one is going to slow down. They're just not going to slow down. I don't own a golf cart. I wish I did. I would love to have one. I don't want to see them on Ocean Springs Road. I told my husband a minute ago, I said, what are they going to do when they get to Highway 90? How are they going to get across? It's looking for an accident. I'm asking that y'all don't put those on. I can't wait to go on the sidewalk and take my little grandkids in the stroller. I don't want to see golf carts. I don't want to have to fight them. Y'all, please, I know you tabled it. I'll be up here talking against it again. I don't want them on there. I think it's a dangerous mixture. Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Mark Garriga, Ward 3.
Ward 2.
Yeah, Ward 2. I'm somebody next life. First off, I like what the mayor said about Arbor Day. He followed it up with a bunch of great stuff about all the stuff trees do. Y'all have the power, y'all have a chance to reinstate the tree committee. We've lost so many trees in the last few years. I was telling a visitor about the Ruskin Oak the other day. They didn't believe me. I told them it was like something out of the Lord of the Rings. So I carried them over there. They chopped trees off the Ruskin. They chopped branches off the Ruskin Oak, man. I mean, that's got to be one of the top 10 best trees in the world. And those branches come off. But we've lost so many trees that were unnecessary. The thing with the city attorney, I can't even believe so many people have to talk about that one. I would have thought that was a no-brainer, and he would have went right along with it, not the chief. I mean, we've heard a million different cases where they're drawing out incidents with residents where money just keeps going and going and going, but just strictly off of the thing with the last incident with Securex, that should be a no-brainer. And then the last one I want to mention, quick and easy, in the consent agenda. I've been coming to these meetings forever, and I've said over and over that we set precedents every time y'all do. I like a lot of the things. I think that would be fair, but I want to just make sure that when something like this stuff's approved, it should be approved for everybody to come along. People ought to be able to pull up little examples and say, y'all did it here, you did it there, it should be all right for me. That's the thing. Everybody should get fair treatment, whether it's a big developer or a small person.
Anyone else would like to speak? All right, we're moving on to Mayor and Alderman Forum. Alderman Burgess.
Really quickly, Alan, thank you so much for your help on King George. They're very happy about that. And the barrier over there on Ocean Springs Road and Dina, that was much needed. Just rod and reel, getting those no snow, no,
Yeah, we'll get that took care of.
no dumping signs put up. Stephen, Parks and Rec, John Gill Park, the fencing is gonna be done next week, correct?
The electric part of it?
Electric
Yeah.
part, the magnetic locks.
Yeah, Dondi was going to call Sink River, and he said it'd be 3 to 4 days, so they could get the power meter in and all that stuff.
Okay, and in the meantime, we're gonna get that coil for the gate?
Yeah,
Is that lock's
Dondi-
not gonna do
Dondi
a
did that.
flipping good? Okay, all right.
I'm sorry,
excellent.
Scott's gonna do that, I'm sorry.
Okay, so Scott, okay. Yeah, because those magnetic locks are not gonna engage if the gate's all the way swung open. So Sarah's not here. Carolyn, well, I don't know, maybe Alan, is this something you can answer real quick? The King Henry sign for, Fort Bayou Estates. I've had residents ask if we can just, it's at an angle, and what it's doing is it's blocking the traffic when you're coming out. All they have to do is flatten it, just make it straight, which is the way it was before. Is that something Lane has to do? Do y'all have to wait for Lane to come out?
We haven't took the project over yet, so.
Okay, so that's Lane. Okay, and then that divided highway sign that's falling over there in the median, that's gonna be Lane as well? Okey dokey,
They
so
were out
neat.
there working on the curbings last Friday, fixing the ones that got hit.
Okay.
with the chips
I'll
out.
pass that to Sam. Thank you.
So I got a couple things. First of all, I think our police department in Ocean Springs does a good job, and I find that very disrespectful for somebody to get up there and say that they're not writing tickets, because I can tell you that I get phone calls every week of people complaining because they get a ticket from rolling a stop sign or speeding, and I don't care if we had 100 police officers working a day. There's so many streets in this city, and there's so many things going on that not every street can be looked at every part of the day, at every minute of the day. And some of this onus falls on the people behind the steering wheel, not the police officers pulling them over. So I want to apologize to our police department, because I don't think that's a true statement to say that. I think that our traffic department and I think our police do a good job for what they do.
They're all conducting enforcement every day.
I get phone calls weekly, people wanting, where constituents want speed bumps in front of their house, or they want stop signs, all these traffic calming things that it would be easier for people just to follow the speed limit, stop at stop signs. So, I wanted to get that out of the way. Next thing's gonna be a little bit tougher. I've been thinking about everything going on with the city attorney and things like that. And then before I get started with this, I want to make it perfectly clear that another thing that was said a little while ago when it was pointed at Mr. Norman saying that he needs to go. Mr. Norman I have not seen Mr. Norman's name on anything, on any perception of any kind of conflict or any kind of conflict at all. So I want to make sure it's perfectly clear that my conversation tonight is not based on Mr. Norman, like it was pointed out a little while ago. I do think that the community has been waiting for something to come forth, or for us to make a decision on some things. It's taken us a long time to get here. We've looked at a lot of different things. I think right now would be a good time for us to go out for RFQ and to take applications for an in-house attorney, because I think that with the money that our city has afforded for all these years to have somebody on retainer, we could if we could find somebody, we may be able to have somebody here inside our city hall that would be at our beck and call, for lack of a better word, at all of our constituents. But I do want to say one thing. This process is not about, you can't just get out there and fire an attorney, because they do have cases that they've spent a lot of hours up to this point. And if we just say, okay, tonight's the night, and we just take those cases away, we got to give those cases to another attorney to start doing all the background reading, all the depositions, all the discovery,
And the taxpayers are gonna pay 4 times as much as what we have invested in it now. So we have to at least take that in consideration. I do want to make the motion that the Board of Aldermen go out for RFQ and take applications to those that are interested in in-house attorney. I feel like the city would be best served by an in-house attorney, but I'm not sure that we're going to have anybody come to the table that's going to want to do that. But in the 8 years I've been on the board, we've never tried that, so I'd like to see what's out there. This process is going to take a little while, and the city has ongoing litigation that will remain with Wilkinson, Williams, Bazio, and Sessoms. Just like I mentioned earlier, that I felt like this can't be just a straight fire. Norman will continue to handle our day-to-day meetings and needs as we work through the process, because the city does have to have a city attorney to help guide us through times when we need it. If we have trouble acquiring a qualified staff attorney, then that's when we'll consider to go back to a council or to continue with a council method. Either way, hiring will in the future assist in helping choose specialized outside counsel to handle any upcoming litigation, which that means that my vision when we make these changes, that anytime moving forward with any type of litigation, we would hire somebody specialized in that field, regardless if it's for land use, if it's for somebody getting hurt, hit by a car, just whoever would be specializing in that. So that's my motion.
A motion by Mr. Alderman, second by Mr. Wade. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir. I want to make a statement. There's been some people that said Mr. Wilkinson didn't acknowledge a conflict. He did. Amy St. Pay, attorney, was brought in because the conflict was acknowledged. She is the one that advised on the contract. There's been a lot of misinformation regarding Securix and Mr. Wilkinson. His firm has faithfully and professionally served this city and citizens for over 20 years. He's anxious to set the record straight. However, due to an ongoing court case in which all participants are under a gag order, not that all have obeyed the gag order, but they are under a gag order, he cannot do so at this time. So as soon as the court-ordered gag order is lifted, he will be free to defend himself. And that's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other discussion? A roll call on this?
Well, I want to further the discussion for just a second, so sorry.
Sorry.
I see both points. I'm not opposed to your idea, but I would like to wait until, I think it would be prudent for us to wait until the gag orders are lifted and we have information that right now we are not privy to. Just for the sake of being able to make an educated decision and having all the facts. But like I said, I'm not opposed to that going that route, but I think maybe we might be better served to wait until that information comes out and we have all the facts and all the data.
Anybody else?
I feel like, Jennifer, that the motion kind of covers that, being we're just going to go out for RFQs and accept those. There's no movement on, Will's still going to be here for day-to-day, and they're still going to handle the litigation that's ongoing. So you kind of, it's just getting the process started, is what I'm saying.
And then also discussing having specialized services for particular litigation. Is that clear? Do I have that clear?
Jennifer, we've discussed this for years, and I would like to see us give it a try. There's a lot of positives in having an in-house attorney that is here in this building or close proximity for the city employees, for us to ask questions to. without having to get on the phone or whatever. Mr. Wilkins has been very available, but at times it'd be much more convenient to have someone that works directly for us in this city, in this building. And I would like to, I'm in support of Mr. Alderman's motion when we get around to it.
I was just trying to clarify that. Thanks.
Okay, we're ready to vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Ricky. Kevin?
Thanks for the sidewalk over there. It looks great. Grass included.
Does look good.
I just have one thing, Mayor. The Chamber and Main Street, they're partnering with the Ocean Springs Art Association on a series of fun community art projects this year. And one of the collaborations will be addressing the appearance of 3 utility boxes on Government Street, one at Fallows Pleasant parking lot, one in Handy Government Street in front of the lot on the corner, and one outside of Quickly's too, on the south side.
Yeah, that's that one, that's the one that's next to, the old Murky Waters.
Right, and all of them been hit with graffiti already. They're unsightly, really. But with the Main Street and the Art Association, they're going to make sure that the vibrant community inspired design coordinated through the OSAA qualifications and standards. This project is part of our ongoing efforts to beautify the area and promote local engagement. We will ensure that the work is done in compliance with any city regulations and will coordinate with any necessary departments for approvals. I think what we want to do is just make sure that we do own those boxes before we do any agreements.
I think you're on by Mississippi Power.
Yeah, so we have got to get approval through the power company or whoever owns it.
I've asked them to paint that one by Murky Waters, and
But I would like to ask for this board to allow the Chamber Main Street to move forward with this project. Make that in the form of a motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Cox,
Second.
second by Mr. Wade. Any discussion?
So that's pending approval from Mississippi Power.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I'd like to follow up on what Ricky was saying about the police department. Folks, we have a great police department in this town. They can't be everywhere. One of my big complaints is speeding, and I don't know what you do about it short of shooting the people. That's the truth. They're gonna speed, I get phone calls, I don't fix tickets. I get fixed. Sometimes I feel that way. Somebody talked about getting a fight, I probably had several arguments in front of my house about people speeding. But anyway, I commend our police department, I think we need to respect them. They have a tough go of it out there, I don't think any of us would want to do what they're doing. But Chief, thank you, and tell your people thank you, and this board supports you, thank you.
we do have a reserve program, so anybody that wants to get out there and write tickets on their time off,
Yeah, for real.
you can join.
I mean, if we had the answer, if I had the answer to speed, I'd be a millionaire. I wouldn't be sitting here, I can promise you that. What do you do? I mean, we like we said, the police are out there, I mean, we can't be everywhere, and thank you again, like everybody said, I can't thank you guys enough for what you do. Unless we can get the fire department out there writing tickets with you. I mean, I want to go do that.
Start shooting with those.
Can we get them deputized through the county and let them write tickets? Now, thank you guys for what you do.
You know, as a former police officer with Ocean Springs for 11 years, I saw it firsthand. Anytime you set up a radar, you might get the first couple, but then somehow word gets out and everybody comes through with a glow and a halo, and you know everybody's on their best behavior. I think it was Jeff Foxworthy said that as soon as the officer clears the area, it's back to green flag racing. You know, a lot of it comes down to personal responsibility, and unfortunately, a lot of drivers today just don't have that. They'll be on their best behavior as long as that patrol car is there, and as soon as that patrol car is gone, it's back to the routine. I just want to thank Will for the job he does for us. He's a very good city attorney, and I appreciate what you do, Will. That's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
When we talk about golf carts and stuff like that, you know, one thing I see in golf carts is underage drivers. And I'm seeing a lot of underage drivers on these motorized bicycles now.
Oh, those are
That's a new
menace.
thing.
And I'm talking about, I don't know, I'm kind of old, so I don't really understand, I don't really identify what a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, the difference, but they look pretty young. So is there a law about those motorized bicycles?
So, several years ago, the state did amend the ordinance on bicycles, that the motorized bicycles fall under that. I know some states have different classes for those bikes by speed. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but right now, by Mississippi code, a child can be on an electric bike.
That's
We
crazy.
don't have anything prohibiting that. I think some legislation will come out of that because some of these bikes are pretty fast. I'm telling you guys anything you don't know. And that can be someone say, man, our school's on, back when I was still on traffic division, I had an instance where a young man was going to the middle school every morning, passing through Magnolia Park at a high rate of speed, so I had to have a talk with the young man to explain to him that it's something the state, I think, it's something that's gonna have to address this legislation on that statute, so.
But just like any other bicycle on the road, they have to adhere to the normal traffic laws, regardless of the speed.
Sure.
So reinforcing traffic laws to bicyclists, cyclists.
They think they got the right.
Raven, we got anything else?
You had breakfast with the band in the morning. Chamber at Mosaics.
And you gotta see Cash Alley.
And you gotta go see Cash Now. We have new umbrellas.
Okay.
Mardi Gras.
All right, need a motion to go into closed session to discuss the necessity of going into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
From Ms. Nippy, second from Ms. Burgess, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Is Bailey coming on? Is Bailey coming on? Bailey going? That was interesting. Hey, I need to talk to you. Yeah. Is Bailey going? Well, he's not. He can act like that. Yeah. That's what he needs to do. He didn't need to. I tell Stan, I'll go first and stuff like that. Yeah. Check with Bailey. I'm working. He's still getting machine calls. All right. Good day. Got me a note? Oh, well, yeah.
Did I stop? I don't think I stopped it. Hey, Stephen. Are you ready, Vicki? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you, Ellen. Everybody. Okay. Motion made by Mike Impey, seconded by Jennifer Burgess to stay in executive session to discuss personnel in the Parks Department, personnel in the Clerk's Department, personnel in the Fire Department, and litigation with Edgar, Fisher, and Ward Avenue. And I guess, sorry.